What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to cover the 6 core habits of investors. Of course, before we start, I do need to clarify that this video is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So core habit number 1 is courage. This one is quite straightforward. In order to grow your wealth, you need to have the courage to be able to take the risks in the first place. Whether you're investing £50 or £50,000, you could have used that money elsewhere. You could have went on holiday, you could have bought some shoes, but instead you made the decision to invest that to grow that wealth. And with all investments, capital is at risk, regardless of what you buy. Stocks, commodities, real estate. You have to have the courage to trust your instinct, because I'm assuming you've researched what you're buying properly. You've done your own due diligence. So there comes a time where you just need to take the plunge and just trust your instinct. Of course, remember, nothing here is financial advice. The second core habit of every investor is humility. Now we can look at this from many angles. For example, number 1, you should feel fine knowing that other investors may be making more money than you. They may be generating more yearly returns, or they may have invested more than you. It doesn't matter. It's not necessarily about the end point, it's also about the journey too. And through investing in the stock market, it humbles you. Not every investment you make is going to be profitable. Sometimes you take a loss, but a loss is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. And that's why it's always important to also bear in mind that with every single investment, your capital is at risk, and people should only be investing money that they're willing to lose. So we've covered the first aspect of humility, and that's not to be overswayed by other people's returns. So we should feel fine knowing that other people may be making more returns than us. We shouldn't be comparing our returns to others, and likewise we shouldn't be trying to outperform others, because investing is your own journey and everyone has their own reasons for investing. It's not a race. The third core habit of investors is zero leverage investing. Debt is not a good thing. Sure, some people will argue that debt has got its tax benefits and things like that, but that's not the scope of this video. Some people use leverage to maximize their profits, but this can also mean an exponential loss too. But what's really important about leverage is you're playing with other people's money, and you need to pay that money back. And 99.9% of the time there'll be interest on this. So this is wrong from two aspects. First and foremost, from a religious perspective. So as Muslims, we avoid interest. So I have no need to take out an interest-bearing loan for my leverage, and other religions also do not take out interest. Secondly, we also have to look at it from an ethical perspective. So if you regard yourself as an ethical investor, you really should be avoiding leverage, because interest is not good for society as a whole. Interest is toxic and it's a poison in society. This is not an economics lesson, but interest is toxic in society and it's not a good thing for the people. The fourth core habit of investors is discipline. Notice I said investors. We're not speculators, we're investors. Everyone will have their own criteria of things that they look for. Trade your plan and plan your trade is what they always say. Anything that you do, have your criteria and stick to it. The more you budge from it, the more likely you are to mess up. The fifth core habit of investors is patience. It's good practice to reevaluate your portfolio and your stock universe as a whole, at least every quarter or whenever financial reports come out. And it takes patience to do this, because these things can be very, very, very long. Secondly, it's also worth considering having patience in bear markets. Sure, in bull markets, everything you touch might turn into money. But in bear markets, when people are panicking and selling, there's actually a possibility to make more money in them than there is from just selling. But as I said, this is not financial advice. With every investment, capital is at risk, and speak to your own financial advisor, because that's not something that I am. And the sixth core habit of investors is learning. You have to invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset. Your stocks, your bonds, your house, they don't compete. Their value is worthless compared to yourself as an asset, and you need to invest in yourself. So you can do this many ways. You can learn, you can read, you can study, you can go to seminars. Reading especially is very, very good. Most investors, most CEOs, businessmen have a reading schedule. So if you're trying to learn stock markets, or if you're trying to learn personal finance and investing and things like that, there's a whole range of good books that you can read, such as Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I myself am currently reading this. Just one sec. So I myself am currently reading this Principles by Ray Dalio. There's a whole host of books that you can read. Richest Man in Babylon, One Up on Wall Street. There's Security Analysis by Benjamin Graham. He's also authored another book called The Intelligent Investor. You may have already heard of these before. So these are just some books that came to the top of my head. If you're looking to buy them or you want some of my other recommendations, just check out the description below and I'll leave a link to them. Likewise, if you're looking to start investing and you want to invest commission free, also just check out the link in the description for some commission free brokers and just some generally useful research tools. But that's it from me. If you've learned anything or if I've provided you any value from this video, please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to my channel for further videos on stock market education, personal finance and general development. But that's it from me. Take care and I'll see you on the other side.